Yo, yo, yo. We back at it again. And like always, I'm Murk.
And I'm Murkette.
And today we got another one. Why is the modern woman losing its femininity? Does that make sense? Femininity.
Why are women not so feminine no more?
Yeah, basically. Why aren't they feminine anymore?
Mm-hmm. That's a hard one.
Alright.
That's a hard one.
You know what? I'll say, okay. The reason I think women nowadays are losing their femininity is, I think it goes back. It's not a current thing. I think it's a domino effect thing. So I think years ago, women started being forced into a position of assuming manly roles. You know what I mean? Once they got into like the workforce and they got into stuff like that, they also started having to assume the roles of men. I mean, they started becoming head of households. They became mother and father to children. And I think what happened is they had to build a tougher facade. They had to be tougher. And I think what happened is when your grandma or great grandma experienced that trauma. Now I ain't gonna say trauma. That adaptation for survival got passed on to a daughter. And that daughter grows up with those skewed views of the world, and she gets to the I watched my mother do it all on her own. I'm gonna do it all on my own. And then you get to the day where you get the modern woman, where successful women is more than ever. You got black women who I think leading in education and business owning. You got these things happening. Mm-hmm. It's becoming more, I don't need a man. So then the femininity. Yeah, men tend to bring more out of women when they're around. It's being lost because nowadays we get to the point where women, I felt like they had to step in and be in the roles that men used to step into. That's why you'll get the modern woman who I think is just rhino skinned.
What does that mean?
They got tough skin now. You know, they're not a delicate, fragile beings that they used to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll coattail off that just a little bit, but I remember, just like you said back in one of our other videos, where women used to put themselves in a certain position to be caught or to be sought after. And a lot of times nowadays, you don't really get that anymore. There used to be a lot of effort put into the way they looked and, you know, in seeking a man or being caught or, you know, catching the attention of a man. And you're just not getting that anymore. And like you said, women are more so in the workforce now and are doing a lot more now. So now they're tired and they don't really want to put forth the effort into doing all that stuff. But I think that stuff is still really important. Whether you're in school, working, taking care of kids, whatever, your appearance should always be, you know, of great importance to you. Even with us, like we've been together for a while now, but whether I'm going to the gym, whether I'm sitting around the house, whether we're going out somewhere, I still always make sure my appearance is up to par. But that's just me and how I am. I'm a very, very feminine woman. Everything about me is so feminine. But that's just something that's still really important to me, and I don't foresee me losing, you know, that side of myself. But I think that's pretty much what it is to me. Women are just not putting themselves out there to be sought after anymore. It's, I don't need a man, and, you know, this type of mentality to where they don't, you know, they just don't put forth the effort into doing any of that feminine type stuff anymore.
Well, you know, one thing I think is that there's this idea that femininity and strength can't coexist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you can be a boss. You can be strong.
Absolutely.
You can be stern.
Tough skin.
And all of that, and still be
feminine.
And I think that's one of the things that, you know, a lot of people lost. You know, like I remember, and you know, many years ago when I like go to the club scene, like the woman who would have on the dress and the high heels and, you know, the lashes and the long hair would be literally like rapping, shoot him, kill him, pull him,
God.
Like, you know what I mean? And you're like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for you to whine and grind and be feminine.
Wow.
But it was this like tough facade, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like that, you know how they say like a New York woman, like, yo, what's up? You my boyfriend or what? You know what I mean? You're like, whoa. So I think, you know, that's one of the things too that is bad, because you'll say, I think my lady's very strong. She's very a boss. She can handle her business.
And I can
She's
rap.
not weak.
I can rap.
Yeah. She can rap. But that doesn't mean that she can't be feminine, that she can't be soft, that she can't be fragile, that she can't be vulnerable, that she can't be, you know, all those things at once. And you know what I mean? And another thing I think too is a lot of nowadays the outer feminine, when a woman is feminine, I really think I can dress her up any type of way and that's gonna show. You know what I mean? If I put her, I always say it, if I put a woman in a coverall and I'm 100 feet away and see her walking, I should know
that's a woman.
That's a woman. You know what I mean? And nowadays, femininity is something that is worn as a costume and taken off. So when I'm about to step out, or when it's the certain moments, I put on my fit. That's when you get daughter. That's when you get this thing. And I think that's something that is said, because that's something that should be with you all the time. You know, as a man, you know, that's a good topic we should maybe do. As a man, I can't take my masculinity off and put it back on. Like, I need to be this man all the time. That doesn't mean I can't be vulnerable. That doesn't mean I can't be caring, loving, relaxed, stuff of that nature. But no matter what I do, you should still be able to see a man being represented. So in the same sense, I think that's what the women now have. It's a costume. You know what I mean? So only time I'm feminine is when
trying to impress.
You know, like I know, just like I go to basketball games and stuff, the girl basketball game. These girls are really balling. They're going hard, and they're sweating. They're putting blood and effort into this game, and they're not no scrubs. But it's like I still see that they're feminine. You know what I mean? Like it's not, they're not, you know, out there like dudes, studs. I'm like, they're still feminine, and I think, you know, it's something that people need to know. So strength.
Like even when I go to the gym and I'm squatting over 200 pounds, I'm still very feminine with it. I still look feminine. Like everything about me is feminine, but that doesn't mean I can't be strong and, you know, other things. So like that's just something that's really important to me. And femininity, it comes in a, you know, it's broad and it's you know, it's very complex.
Yeah, I'll take it back, and I'll say, you know, men do have some responsibility for that. You know what I mean? I think because a lot of men became absent, because a lot of men maybe hurt women and blah that nature, it made women start shedding that to step into other roles, and then you get people who just passing that on generations, and as we go on, it gets, you know what I mean? And that is, nowadays, a man is basically almost been reduced to what he can provide, his money. So, you know, the more women start to get into positions where I don't need you for this, I need you for money, the more they're like, oh, wow.
But like you said, though, femininity is something that's just within you. It's within you.
Well, the thing about it is that I believe sometimes it has to, for many people, it just never was
important.
Installed, to say. A lot of people maybe didn't grow up in a situation where they had a father, or, you know, people who said you're beautiful, or a mother who showed them, you know what I mean, was an example of this separation. Their example of a feminine woman was a woman who had none of that. You know what I mean? They watched a woman who maybe worked around the clock, sat around the house looking that type way, and only got feminine when it was time to go somewhere. And I think that example kind of affects the generations as they go and they go and they go. And now it's to the point where it gets to the point where it's hard for a woman to just be that now. Okay.
And at this point, I think that a lot of women just don't even have a desire to be that way.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's
and some of them
like
do.
I said, it's not.
And then some of them do have the desire to be that way, but it's just not in them.
Yeah,
you know, it's not in
it's
them.
Uncomfortable.
So yeah, and the truth is, I guess you can't really expect for every woman to be feminine because that's probably just not her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Every woman don't have it in them, but I still think that a large percentage of women should still be feminine.
You know what I actually heard? For the right man, I'll be feminine for the right man.
That
like
don't even make sense.
Like,
that don't even make sense.
Like, I'm not trying to make you feminine. Like,
but the thing about it is, when you choose to do something like that for situational purposes, turning it on and off, that means that it's not in you, and it's going to be something that you will turn on and turn off. It's not going to be something that's going to be consistent, because soon as the situation changes, then you're going to change. So that means if you're doing something for the purpose of making someone else happy, it's just not going to work. Well, you have to do it because that's what you want to do ultimately.
I just think it's a flat out lie.
Yeah, it definitely
there's
is.
No way. How, you know what I mean? The thing about it is, anybody would be a fool to gamble on the idea of what someone will do when they're not showing that now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't, if you're a woman and I meet you and you're not feminine, you can't tell me that I could make you feminine.
Right.
First of all, because
they'll be uncomfortable and unhappy.
You know, because a man, in the sense of most men, are attracted to feminine women. So first of all, you're skipped over because you're waiting to show someone you can be feminine, but you're never getting that opportunity because I skipped
like that
over
one chance. You had that one chance.
I always say there's great people out there, but if you don't have the outer cover that attracts me, how do I get to know what's inside?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, I can't, as a man, I can't say for the right woman, I'll be masculine. They're gonna be like, whoa, bro, you ain't, no, that don't sound right.
You.
That don't sound right.
Yeah,
bro.
it's not in you. Yeah.
So, for me, man, I think it's a combination of the fact that, you know what I mean, men stepped out of their roles and made women start to step into roles that maybe they weren't meant for. And when they had to step into those tougher roles, they lost the feminine side. And I think it's just nowadays, it's the same thing. It's just no men out there to really keep the women feminine as it used to be.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
You think so?
Because I just don't see it like nowadays. It's very difficult to find
women that are consistently feminine. No matter when you see them, they're feminine.
One thing I dislike is the costume. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. The turn it on, turn it off.
I like the costume.
Yeah. Man. And the truth is, if that's not who you really are, then don't put up the facade, because it just, it's gonna get you hurt in the end. I think.
And in this era of lashes
just be
and
who
wigs
you are
and all of that, man. I watched a woman. She showed herself in a car and she was looking rough, and then she was like, nobody want me like this. And then she goes and dolls them. And look how everybody want me. Like, why can't you be? I'm not saying you got to be dolled up all the time at all. Me, myself, I'm more attracted to the simpler but feminine look. Like the fancy makeup, nails, hair, like that's extra to me. You're trying to look like something. But if you're already that, you don't have to. Yeah,
and then you get home and you're taking all that off, and your man is seeing a whole different person.
Yeah, women are attracted like men are like. So I think the thing is, you can't expect me to wait to find out if you're feminine. But I will throw in there, like she said, not everybody's meant to be feminine. Everybody is who they are. I just
be
think
the best at whatever you are.
The biggest issue is whatever you're going to be
that.
Know that what comes with it. So don't go to a man who myself, I believe that masculinity and femininity together is powerful. Right. So if you're not that, you can't find a man who's like that. You know what I mean?
And femininity is within you. It's the way you live. It's the way you walk. It's the way you talk, and it's the way you carry yourself. You know, it's not something you can turn on and turn off. Either you are or you're not. And whichever that is, you just have to, you know, accept it and just live with it. You know, don't try to be something that you're not, because you're going to fail miserably at it. You can't keep it up consistently.
I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah.
So, I hope that gave you some understanding of
Maybe just
why
a little bit.
femininity is
Dead.
dead.
It ain't dead yet, but it's a dying. It's a dying characteristic.
thing.
Yeah.
So like always, I'm Murk.
And I'm Murkette.
And join us again as we hit some more hot topics.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel and watch our videos. They're really funny, right?